So I opened Design Space and I went into Images to look for a flower pot so that I could try to recreate this beautiful card that my friend Heidi sent me. And there's a lot of images, probably because flower pulls up a lot. Um, I can try that one. But I'm really just looking for something that looks like a traditional flower pot. Maybe that one, although I think it's the same as the first one. We can try this one, and I think we can try this one. That should do it. So I've got 4 options to choose from. Hopefully one of those will work. And let's make these smaller so I can see them all. All right, so this one is not going to work just because it's one solid image and it doesn't have anything that I can remove from it. So I'm just going to delete that one. And I think the same is true with this one, so we'll delete that. Now this one, it's got a lot of pieces, so let's take and ungroup that one. Let's see if we can't get rid of the flower, because I don't want the flower. Okay, well, let's see. It cut out a bit of the back of the pot, but that's kind of the style I'm going for. So let's try this one. And again, we're going to ungroup it and get rid of the cactus. And again, it did not give me the whole pot. So I think what I might try is to make my own. Now, I don't know if this will work, but let's give it a try. We'll go into Shapes, and something that looks like the bottom of the flower pot could be this here. Let's just see if there's anything else that looks like it might work. This could work too. And actually, that saves me from having to cut anything off. So we're going to do that, and we're going to flip it horizontally, I think. No, I always get that wrong. Flip it vertically. And we're just going to kind of line that up in here and then stretch it out. Now I want to turn the lock proportions off so that I can stretch it to actually kind of fit this pot that's already here. Okay, so now I could even stretch it this way a little bit. Okay. That might be a little wide since a typical card is 4 1/4. So let's put the lock back on. Let's get this down to 4-ish. Okay, that's a little smaller. There we go. All right, so now let's see if we can recreate this lip around it. And honestly, I really just need this part right here. But maybe I can use that. Let's just duplicate that and just try something here. I have to be smaller, of course. I think I'll be able to use that. Okay, so let's move these. Well, let me get them all here, and we'll just move them over here with this one. Get all that up out of the way. Okay. So I think that looks pretty good. Let me just center it a little bit better just to make sure. Align, center, horizontally. Yep, there we go. So I can either leave that as one piece, or I can combine it Um, I think for now I'm going to leave it as two separate pieces because I might actually want to do two separate colors. So, but I will group them. So let's go ahead and group that, and then I'll get rid of all these because I just don't need them anymore. So we've got those two pieces, and let's see, I just want to see how long. It's wide, but it's not very long. I think I need it to be longer, so I'm going to just increase the height of it a bit. There we go. That looks better. Okay, so I'm going to change the color on the bottom just because I find that really distracting. Not sure I like that a whole lot better, but there we go. That'll work for me for now. So that is the pot for the card. Now we need to create the easel portion of the card. So let's see here. I want to create a square base, or actually a rectangular base. So let's do this. And we're going to unlock our proportions. And it needs to be 4¼ wide. And it would be 11 high. No, is that right? Yeah, because we're going to fold it in half, which would make it 5½. So I'm going to change this to a light gray. I want to be able to see it, but I don't need it to be quite that contrasty. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to put in our fold line in the center. So let's go back into shapes. We're going to grab our line here. We're going to turn it, grab it and bring it over. And I don't think I quite got it. No, I didn't. It should be 90. All right, so we're going to stretch this out so that it goes all the way across. Zoom in just a little bit here. And we want to center that. And we're going to center it both ways. There we go. And I could make that just a little bit shorter. Now we'll recenter it just to make sure it didn't move since I wasn't watching it. And it did. Okay. So now we probably want to attach that. But before we do, I want to duplicate this line. So we're going to make a copy of it there. And then I'm going to attach those. And then we would put our fold line somewhere in the middle here. But because I want to change that, I might not make it an actual fold line. I might actually make it a cut line because I'm going to cut the pot as a separate piece. Or I could, let's see here, thinking as I go, I could try, why did that move my line to the back? There we go. So I could try and let's flip that vertically. We can align it this way. So that would not be a bad spot for my cutoff line necessarily. It probably should come up a little bit higher though, because we'll want it to be hidden. under here. Now what I might do is make this go, oops, let's get this part and ungroup it for the time being. I think I want to increase the height of this just a little bit. There we go. So then I can take this line and just move it down a little bit more so it's hidden behind this, what do you call that, that lip that's on the outside of the potted plants. However, it looks like it moved it. There we go. All right, let's try that again. Okay, that looks better. So that gives me the option of cutting this base off of here so that it just attaches. I'm looking at the card that she sent me, trying to figure out exactly how she did it. It's so cute. Um, well, I guess we won't know until we try. So let's take this. We'll have to unattach everything. So detach. Let's take this background piece and this piece and let's slice it. You know what? Before we do that, as Melody would say, well, let's make a copy. So duplicate that. All right. So now we want this base of the pot as well as the card, and we're going to do a slice. And I feel like that didn't work, and I'm going to show you why here in just a second. It didn't work because this part is still there. What I want is for this to be attached. So let's Control Z and let's just back up. So that's where it was. That's where it started. And what I want to do is I want to get this cut line. Well, that's not actually going to work either. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, I know what I need. I need a square. Just make it a little bit bigger. Doesn't have to be that tall though. And what we're going to do is we're going to line this up with where that pot is. And we're going to then attach to the card base. And we're going to slice. And we'll see if that worked. Haha. So now we can reattach the pot to the card base by combining and uniting, or welding, I guess would work too. So let's send this to the back. And there we have it. Now, yes, that will work. Okay. So we want to attach our fold lines. To the card base. And again, we're going to send that back to the back. And then we can move this back over here, line that up, and bring our rim to the top. And there we go. So I think this is going to work. So let me think about this for another second or two. Yeah, I'm liking it. So I'm going to group all of this together. So that was before our cut. And then I'm going to hide it so we're not looking at it. I'll take all of this, just slide it over here into the middle. So I think we're ready to start cutting. And I do need to make sure this isn't over the limit because it's 11:01. So let's go down. And this is still too wide. Oh, that's because of this cut mark here. Okay, so if we just pick the card, it is 4206, so that'll work. All right, so I might have to use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper instead of 11 by 8.5 just because of the way Cricut likes to leave a 1/4 inch all the way around. There also might be a way, especially if I'm taping stuff down, to do this with the 11.5, no, 11 by 8.5. All right, so let's just go to make it and let's just see what this looks like. So there's our base with our score lines. There's our rim of the pot, and then there's the pot. Okay, I am going to cut this out and let's see what we got. Okay, I'm going to put you on pause and I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back from cutting out my flower pot base, and now I think just like the original card that my friend Heidi sent to me for my birthday, I'm going to look for a snail to add to it. Now I know that my stash already contains some ladybugs that I'll pull out if I remember to add those, but the snail is really cute. So we're going to go to images and we're going to search for snail. And we're going to look for something that we really think is cute. Now I do think this is cute. I also think these are cute. This is probably going to be, oh, that is really cute. His little antennae are a little too pointy for me. Otherwise, I think I'd like him a lot. Um, oh, that's pretty cute too. Let's see here. Okay, so those are the snail shells. I saw a body up there, so you could do something like that and kind of create your own. That one's cute too, but oh, okay, that might be a little too cute, but that is really cute. Well, that's not bad. So there's actually quite a few snails to choose from. Now that one's really cute. That one's that one's nice, except again, his antennae are really kind of straight and pointy. I like them to look a little more relaxed. Okay, so we'll insert those images, or we'll add them to Canvas, I should say. Let's see what we got. There they are. Okay, so now we need to choose one. This one almost looks a little too babyish for me, so I'm going to get rid of that one. This one, I don't really like his face, but I like everything else. Now, I say that, and I could honestly fix his face, so I'm going to leave him in as an option. I wish there was a little bit more, I don't know, something with this one, so I'm going to get rid of him. So that leaves me with these two, and I actually like both of them really well. Um, so this snail here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces. Okay, that's kind of a lot. What's this guy got? 3 pieces. Oh, well, I like that a lot better. So as cute as this guy is, and honestly, he was in the #1 running, he's going bye-bye. So we're going to take this one. I'm just going to enlarge him while we work on him. And I'm going to take this base right here. And I'm going to, after I've selected, I'm going to hit contour. And I'm getting rid of that mouth because I don't like it. And we can X out of there. And I'm going to create a new mouth. So let me go to images. No, not images. Let's go back to the canvas. And let's go into shapes. Now, just in case they've already got something that's a little too small. Oh, that might be all right. Let's try that. Let's pull this down and let's rotate this. Whoops. Rotate. Obviously, we need to make it smaller. Oh, yeah, that's way too big still. Oops. I don't want to. I think I'm going to change the attributes of the size a little bit. And we're going to shrink the height down a little bit. Let's see what that does. Okay, I think that'll work for me. So now I want to take this back portion, the pink portion, and the mouthpiece that we just created, and we're going to slice those up. Except it won't let me while that's all combined. So let's uncombine it, or ungroup it. And let's pick the mouth, and let's pick the body, and now we can slice it. And sit down. And there we go. So I'm not going to leave this back piece purple. I'm going to change it to black. I want to see what that looks like because I think that's more natural, or even a dark gray. I'll leave it at black for now. Now I am going to change the color of his body. I don't know what color snails are, but this pale pink isn't working for me, even though that's pretty similar to the color Heidi's got on her snail. But I'm going to go with, okay, so I've still got the back selected. I want just the body. Let's go with, let's try a gray, or darker gray. That's too dark. I'm not loving it. Let's go into advanced colors and see what we can find there. Let's come down here to the pinkish hues. Too pink? Oh, we don't want pink anyway because the card base is pink. So let's not worry about that. Let's go back to, let's do gray, but I don't want him that dark. Let's do that. Okay, so now we got to pick a color for the shell. Again, we don't want pink because that's the same color as the card base. And I'll decide if that's actually the color I want to cut here a little later, but that's what I'm going to start with anyway. Okay, so I'm done with that then. So he's cute, but he is way too big. So let's group him again so that we can resize everything together. And let's figure out just exactly how big we want him. So let's go ahead and blow this back up to at least 100. And we're going to flip him around just so he matches our pot. I know you're probably thinking, why did she do this upside down? Well, that's a good question. I wish I had it for you. So he still looks a little big compared to the pot, but he is under an inch. So we're starting to work with some pretty small pieces there. I think we can go a little smaller. Yeah, okay. I've already got some pre-cut flowers in my stash that I'm going to try to use. So I'm going to cut this snail, put him together, start putting the card together, and we'll be back. All right, I'm back, and I went ahead and put the card together. Now, I did go ahead and emboss the two pieces that make up the pot, and then I kind of inked around them a little bit in a darker shade of pink, just to kind of give it some added depth. And the little snail turned out really cute, but it didn't cut very well. Um, at least the shell part didn't. Um, and what I probably would do differently is because the face is so small, I would actually leave that off and just draw it on, or have the Cricut draw it on for me. Um, but all in all, I think it turned out really cute. So now I finally located my flowers. I had to search the whole craft room 3 times. I think I found these in, when I finally found these, I had looked in this pile 4 times. So yeah, that was fun. Anyway, so now we're going to start putting some on here. And before I do that, I just want to grab one more thing. I've got some other greenery, even though I've got some printed out on here. I've got some other greenery that I think might look nice as well. Just take a quick flip here and see what I've got. Yeah, I'm going to grab my other greenery real quick. All right, so I've grabbed my little container of my miscellaneous greenery, and I'm just going to kind of do a pick through to see if there's anything I think will look nice. Most of it's not very big, so it may be too small for this particular card. Although, sometimes a branch might look nice sticking up out of there. We'll see. Uh, it gets tangled together, unfortunately. This might stick up in the background nice. Oh, this is a nice piece other than it's brown. I don't know if I want brown. All right, I've picked out a few other pieces and we'll just kind of see what looks good. Oh, I put a solid piece in there, so I might have to cut that off a little bit. We'll think about that piece. That might be nice as greenery in the background. Or I've got these two that are slightly different colors, but much closer in color than that one. That just kind of helps it. Yeah, looks good. So I'll glue those down. So grab our glue here. And I think this one's darker, so I'm going to put it just slightly to the back. It's not going to matter a lot, but the glue tip is clogged again. Okay. I might need to take this to the sink and give it a good wash. Which one did I decide was darker? So I don't know where everybody's at here in Middle USA. It is raining today. Valentine's Day is looking kind of drear in Arkansas. Thank goodness we have crafting. Yeah, I ended up smearing my glue a little bit, but I think it'll be all right. it's supposed to dry clear and it's going to be covered up mostly anyway. So now we'll do this piece. There we go. Just hold that down for a minute. So we're not going to use that one. And I don't think we're going to use this twig either. Yeah, I'll get rid of that. And actually that fills in the back really nice. We might not even need any more greenery. So we'll just leave this off to the side for now. And let's pick some flowers. Now I'm going to put my glue. This glue bottle is always like, it's always like burping on me. It's weird. It's always erupting. Okay, so I think we'll definitely go with pink because it'll look nice with the pot. And I have a lot of it, but I also want some spackling of yellow in there. So, wonder about this. I see where part of that sticker paper didn't get pulled out of there. This is Cricut sticker paper. It's really more like sticker cardstock. It's quite thick. And I use the print and cut technique or function, whatever you want to call it, with this. So I want something a little smaller in the background, but those, I'm not sure about all those colors. There's a lot of colors in there. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stick to these first two pages, I think. So this is a little smaller. So maybe put this up here. Oh gosh, you know what I did? I glued that all down and I shouldn't have because it needs to stand up. Oh dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. I'm going to try to peel this off and I'll be right back, but I won't make you watch this painful process. All right, well, I really couldn't peel that paper, those pieces up. Just left them down and then I ended up adding some of this other stuff so that when I do stand the card up, you'll be able to still have some greenery back there. So it looks nice when it's laid flat. My goal is to get it to look nice like this too, since I did mess it up, but I'm determined to fix it. So I've got a few flowers laid down. Now those are super sticky on the back and I don't want them to stick to this other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my embossing buddy. And I'm just going to rub some embossing powder. It's not embossing powder, it's just powder on the back, anti-static powder to kind of remove some of that sticky. Yeah, that works pretty good. Oh, and this was actually the one I pulled off to use. Okay, so let's do this like this. Move those off to the side. And let's put this over. Let's do this one like this. I'll go ahead and finish sticking down all of these other pieces that I want. And then we'll add back in. It's pretty tight right there. I might need to take some of that off. Yeah, I'm going to just take a little snippet off of that. Get that to lay down in there a little bit better. There we go. Just kind of push all that together. Get rid of that. Now, I think we could use a little bit more greenery at this point. So we'll stick this tall leaf in here. Maybe, if I can get it underneath there. There we go. And let's see. I really did want that pink one on there, but I just think I've got room for it now. Unless I kind of trim it off and put it down there like that. Or even like that. Yeah, I don't know. Thinking this one's nice and small, so it might be better. Yeah. And stick one more leaf in here somewhere. All right. So I'm going to flip this back over, get my embossing buddy out again, and just sprinkle some more powder on that to get rid of the tacky. Oh yeah. Oh, we got a little bit more over there, I see. Or feel, I should say. There. I think we've saved it. So this is what it'll look like when I get the sentiment in here. It'll stand up, and when it's laying down, it's still pretty. Okay, we don't need this anymore, so before I make an even bigger mess on my desk, let's put that away. See what I mean about my glue like erupting? I don't know why it does that, but we're going to put a pin in it. Get the glue off my fingers. Take my rag that I used to wipe my stamps off with. Just clean that powder off of there. Okay, so I did pull out some ladybugs, but I don't know where they went. And I might have decided in the end that they were too big and just put them away because I don't see them here. So I'm guessing that's what I did. So throw away those pieces. So the original card that I received from Heidi, and then here's my card. So she's got some ribbon on hers, and I don't think I have anything as pretty as that to add. I do have some jewels that I could add, but I kind of like it just the way it is, to be honest. Now, maybe some butterflies. I don't know. It's going to stand up like that. I think once we get the sentiment in it, it'll be pretty good. I hope that fits in the envelope. I think I got my leaves a little too far out. They kept moving on me. Oh, I did. Well, maybe I'll just trim that one off of there. Nobody's going to see it anyway. So we'll just do that. Come on. There we go. A little awkward, but I got it. And I could even, yeah, I think we got enough. Got glue all over my hands. Okay, so that'll fit in the card now. So I'm going to put you on pause while I go find a sentiment and look for something similar just in case I decide to use it. It does look good on there, so I'll be right back. All right, I found some ribbon that I think is pretty. Not sure how well you can see it, but it's not quite as sparkly as Heidi's, but it's pretty. And then I went to sentiment book and found a sentiment that I already had made up that was drawn on my Cricut, and I will use that on the inside. So let's see if we can apply this ribbon. You know what I should do? I should run a strip line. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my tape runner. And let's kind of figure out where we want this. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let's take that off of there. I'm just going to run a strip. It's a little bit lower than I wanted it, but I think it'll be all right. See all that glue still on my hand. Let's find the center roughly, just so I don't end up coming up short. So I'm just going to lay that on that tape. And you could also use double-sided tape if you want. You could even use glue, but I prefer something a little less messy when I'm working with something that's porous like ribbon. Now, kind of want it to be pretty bow, if that's even possible for me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold that there and I'm going to make a knot so that I don't have to keep struggling. Yeah, so I don't have to keep struggling, she says. Oh, I know what I need. Ta-da! Let them hold that for me. I should just go ahead and make a knot though so it doesn't try to get clever and come undone. There we go. Another use for those cute little tweezers. I might not have left this long enough to make a good, decent bow. We'll see here. Ooh. Yeah, I think I cut it a little too short. Plus, I think it'll work better if I go work from this side. Let's try this again. Yep, not getting hold of it right. Well, I do have a couple options. I could just cut that off. So it's kind of a faux bow. So let's do that. I wonder if I come from underneath, if it'll lay down this direction. Oh yeah, but it makes that one want to flip up. Might need some glue dots. Just going to take a glue dot here, kind of ball it up a little bit. And then I'm going to stick it on the back here. And that gives me my bow kind of lying down the way I want it to. I might use one more actually on this side, just so it will not want to flip up too far. There we go. Okay, so that's the front, which I think is really cute. And then we need to put our sentiment on the inside. And for that, I will use dimensionals. Right. Now, I'm wondering if I should slip a little greenery behind this. Now, first of all, let me get my placement for my that's pretty good. Okay, so do I want some greenery behind that? And if so, what kind? Oh, that looks good. I'd put that down first probably. And let's see if I can get a hold of this with my, oh, you know what? I could use this from the front just to kind of tie it all together. Yeah, I don't like the way that looks though. Not loving that little piece. Oops, what did I do here? See if I can pick this one up. I actually like this darker one better. Okay, so if we did that, you wouldn't really be able to see it when the card was up, but you could see it when it was open. Or I could put it down underneath. I just don't know if I like the way that looked. Let's see here. Let's do some turning, twisting and turning. Oh, maybe just that one. All right, let's put this over here like this. And we'd put that on top of it. Oh, I think that looks good. I like it. All right, so we're going to put this back down. I'm going to add a little bit of glue. Maybe. My glue's not jammed up again, which it feels like it might be. My bottle's also getting low, so I need to top it off. All right, so before my bottle can erupt, which it's already starting to, put that in there. All right, so now let's get these papers off of here. Okay, and let's get this as close to centered as we can. Using our pot as a guide. Yeah, that didn't work. No. Come on. Okay. There we go. There we go. What do you think? I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. So, so there you have it. And you got room in here still for a sentiment. And I could still stick a butterfly down there, couldn't I? But I hate to overdo it. Yeah, I think we'll just leave it the way it is. So there you go. That is my take on my friend Heidi's card. I feel confident saying she did it better, but I did it with the Cricut Maker 3, and I will share my file if anybody is interested in the Cricut file. I'll share a link to it. It'll be in my Facebook group. Um, so there you have it. I think it turned out pretty well. So thanks for joining me. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Um, I'd love to hear what you think. So we're all done. Thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, this is Georgiana. Happy crafting.